sé que me extrañas cada día. Si perdió el amor, lo siento, fue mala mía. Si fuera un cuento de fantasía, te llevaría a un paraíso y te besaría, pero look at me, what in darkness.
Hello and welcome yet again to another episode here at the Cardboard Cave podcast. I hope you guys have had an amazing rest of your week and a great day today. If you guys are watching it in the morning or at night, have a great evening as well. Nothing, guys. I hope you guys are ready to talk about some leaks that happen in Brazil with the Final Fantasy in starter decks or starter kit, and that's what we're going to be talking about the specific cards that certain content creators have received for the upcoming Secret Lair Commander. But before anything, before we go ahead and bring in our other team members, I do got to say that this is presented by Titan Games. And if you are in Puerto Rico, I just got to say that you have to go to one specific event on April 18 until April 20 is the Puerto Rico Comic Con. Why do I say this? Because the Cardboard Cave team is going to be in the Dungeon Experience. It's going to be located in Saloon 103, where we're going to be having board games, TCG, and much more. Pay attention to all of our social media, like that you guys can see what challenges we're going to be posting in specific dates, and as well what other things we're going to be doing throughout the Puerto Rico Comic Con weekend. So nothing further ado, let's go ahead and bring in the master of the dark arts, the one and only JP.
Hey, what's up?
What's up, JP? How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, yeah. Just ready to talk about magic.
Ready to talk about magic. So, JP, this is what happened. So a couple of weeks ago, I think it was around 2 weeks ago, Wizard of the Coast announced that there was a couple of packages wrongfully sent out to local game stores in Brazil, and these packages included the starter kits from the upcoming set Final Fantasy. So they expected, and they did like I don't know if we can call it a cease and desist, but they did made like a recall to all of these local game stores that by mistake received the product, and telling them to like, hey, please send the product back to us, and please, oh please, do not leak the product. Surely you do. You know how these things work.
Yeah, they leaked the product.
They leaked the product.
Did they send the Pinkertons?
Huh?
Did they send the Pinkertons?
I don't know.
No,
but
it's still excessive.
But my question would be, in this case, do you think that this actually was a mistake?
It was probably a mistake, considering they've been leaking Final Fantasy stuff for the past ever since the year started.
Yeah,
they've been leaking a bit here, a bit there, a bit here, a bit there. People were even mad that during Dragonstorm spoiler season, they even kept leaking stuff from Final Fantasy just to keep the hype going. But I think this was a mistake, especially because of the type of cards we see and what this is.
Yeah, exactly. If you guys want to check out, I think Orengo found a couple of pictures of the leaked product in English or translated in English, because all the cards are in Portuguese. But if you go to our TikTok, you will see the cards translated in English. So you guys want to pass by, whether you guys can check the cards out. So nothing. Let's go ahead. Pictures here. And like always, I always do a mistake, but hey, it is what it is. Let me put ourselves like this. When there's mistakes, that means that the video is going to be good.
You could just edit them out.
Nah, just leave them like that. There's like a little funny interaction.
So this is the welcome deck, like the starter decks, whatever you want to call them. I don't even know where.
This is the starter. This is a starter kit that brings the high-costed Sephiroth and the high-costed Cloud cards.
Yeah.
So this is the leaked Boros deck. It brings in, sadly, it brings in cards that are part of the set. So it's not that they are like cards that are exclusively from the starter kit. But
I'm pretty
before
sure they've done like exclusives, at least some.
no, yeah, I imagine that there is. But let me go ahead and bring in our favorite director that he just hopped in, Orengo.
Hi.
Hey, Ale, how are you doing? How was
All
that
good.
meeting?
It was all good. All good. We
That's
finished.
good.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So Ale, like just to keep you like up to date, couple of
Mhm.
weeks, Wizard of the Coast sent like a cease and desist to certain LGS stores because they by mistake sent product from Final Fantasy to these stores in
Mhm.
Brazil and in Latin America,
By
and
mistake.
by mistake.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but in all, we all, you know how it is. We always say, nah, everybody's gonna have a good heart. They're gonna like keep that sealed. Nobody's gonna open it. And here you go.
I'd
And
open it. I'd open it.
and then I told all of our listeners and or viewers that if
Mhm.
they want to see like the translated versions of
Mhm.
some of these cards, you pass by the TikTok, and they are. So we
Mhm.
were just talking about right now, JP and myself, that all of these cards are from the actual Final Fantasy set. So we have a lot of spoilers and other characters from the Final Fantasy universe, like Lightning. I think that says Rosa and
Mhm.
Beatrix. And we have the Arma Artema equipment that is from Final Fantasy 7, if I'm not mistaken. Um, but we have the Boros deck. We have lands and tokens. I gotta say, the lands look very,
They're
very
very pretty,
pretty.
They're
actually.
very pretty. And these are
Uh,
on the starter decks or welcome
yeah,
decks?
these are
The starter kits, yeah, the
Mm,
starter
starter-
decks, yeah.
Gotcha. Mhm. Well, you know what? It's already a plus that they have the full art lands in the starter decks. It's already nice. So I appreciate that.
The thing is that you guys notice that there's three different style of mountains, three
Collect them
different
all.
styles of plains.
Yep.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
I
Let's
do
see
want
what
to
else.
mention something. It kind of
Mhm.
feels refreshing in a way,
Mhm.
not knowing what these are, because I've never played a single Final Fantasy game.
Ooh. Okay.
Ooh.
So just reading the characters, and it was like, oh yeah, this is interesting.
Oh yeah.
That is really cool. You know, it's so interesting that these past two entered the battlefield interviews.
Mhm.
Both content creators that I interviewed. If you guys go to Veggie Wagon's interview, they are both content creators got into Magic just because they like playing Magic, not because they got into the competitive scene that is like the usual thing that you hear. But
Mhm.
no, they just got into Magic and they just loved Magic the Gathering.
Yeah.
It's super cool. You know, this is the Sephiroth starter deck.
Ooh. Zafiro.
Sephiroth.
Mhm.
It's really cool. You know, sadly, I wish that the pictures were a little bit much more clear, like that we can
Mhm.
try and translate them, but
You
they
zoom
are
in a little bit, we can kind of like take a gander at them because they're in either Spanish or
they're in
Portuguese, right?
Portuguese. They're in Portuguese. Yeah.
We can kind of assess.
I know this
I
is
know the little fairy, the 2-mana fairy over there, that 2/1 flyer. Whenever it attacks you, surveil one.
Yeah, that's
I
wait,
know that much.
isn't that a reprint?
I it might have a different name.
Oh,
'Cause-
right, it's the fairy rogue. There's a
yeah,
fairy rogue
yeah.
in Guilds of Ravnik, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah.
I know
Says here
those
the soldiers.
Sahuagin copies, I think.
This
If I'm not
one.
mistaken. No,
Yeah, this one.
top right.
Oh, okay,
Top right.
Artemisa.
No, the
No,
other.
the other top right.
Oh, this one.
Yeah, I think that
Okay.
copies something for.
For 2 mana? I hope not.
Yeah, no. Whenever you cast something,
Oh,
if
okay.
it targets, I think it gets a
okay.
+1 counter, and either that or no, it gets unblockable.
Okay, that's more acceptable.
Yeah.
But I was a 2 mana copy at a common level. Jesus.
No, this one is the one that you
uncommon.
can copy. This one you can
that's fine.
create you can create a token that it's a copy of an artifact, creature,
Hmm.
or land.
That's pretty good, especially land. Wow, you copy a land. That's
Common.
nice.
Someone made the joke and tried to like make a little combo with the bottom instant that says creature gets -0, -909 9,999.
Yep.
There's an enchantment from Mirrodin, if I'm not mistaken, that when the creature dies, you gain life equal to its toughness, and you would be gaining negative life.
Yep.
So in theory, you'll be gaining life, but that doesn't work. That's not
No.
how anything that
It's a
refers
cute
to.
interaction, but no.
Yeah, it's a funny interaction. That you think it would work that way, but because even though it does get the -9,999,
Mhm.
you don't actually gain that much for stuff that cares about that. Your life that just basically means 0, so you gain 0 life.
Okay. One of the things that I do like about the Final Fantasy set is that Final Fantasy set still stays true to like when you overpower your characters and do like certain attacks, they have like this ridiculous like 9,999, like this one right
Yeah.
here. I was trying to read the card, but there was a Warhammer figurine in the way. It is real cool that being someone that got to play a couple of the Final Fantasy games, seeing how certain cards are very true to what the game is really cool. At least for myself.
Mhm.
This gives me hope, and I know that it's not gonna happen due to the IP inside the IP. Is we'll never get a Kingdom Hearts set, but Wizard of the Coast.
I
It,
mean,
it would be cool.
the problem is Lorcana.
Lorcana's the problem.
The Lorcana,
So-
yeah.
But if Lorcana falters, which might happen, then we can have it.
You think?
Will it?
Will it?
I don't know. I feel like everywhere I go, there's Lorcana everywhere. I feel like no one's buying Lorcana.
Well. I'm gonna be honest.
Okay.
I'm gonna be honest. Before I say my honesty,
Okay.
these are the basic lands that are available on the starter deck for Sephiroth. The
Nice.
3 different islands, 3 different swamps. We as well have like the dual lands,
The tap.
the tap lands that come in that have 2 colors. It's really cool. I really do love the artwork. I think that this is gonna be one of those sets that I think I'm gonna be eyeing to buy the lands
Mm-hmm.
because they look beautiful.
They are.
Not gonna lie.
Mm.
But yeah, those are the leaked cards, guys. Again, if we do get a chance to translate more of these cards, we'll try and see if we can crop them and put them on TikTok like that. You guys can know what they are. But it's really interesting how these got leaked, or leaked, quote unquote. We don't know, but it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But going back, there's Ale. Going back to the question in hand, the one from Lorcana. Before we go to our next topic, because this is going to be a very very short and precise episode, but still, let's binge into the survival of TCGs.
Mm-hmm.
So, a couple of weeks ago, I went to Macy's. If everybody knows that Macy's has a nice deal with Toys R Us, so there is like a full section that is like all Toys R Us. It's a whole section for toys. Here in Puerto Rico, it's not like in the States. The States have like a dedicated floor. In Puerto Rico, we have like a section, and that's it.
Yep.
So I went with my wife to buy something for my son, and I asked like, "Hey, you guys stop bringing like Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, because I only see Lorcana." And when I say I only see Lorcana, you guys know those shelves? Like there's like a full shelf
Yep.
with more than 50 sealed booster boxes,
Yep.
and then more than 50 sealed or open starter decks
Mhm.
of like the previous Lorcana set.
Yep.
Obviously, the price is not like the best. I think that last time I went to Macy's, they were in special for 10% off. They were like $5.69, something like that. Um, but is it probably the end of Lorcana? I really don't want to say it is, but being the fact how the pull rates are on Lorcana, I
Mhm.
know that there is a good competitive scene, but it's not something that I like, it's not like, for instance, you hear a lot like Flesh and Blood, and then you hear a lot of Magic the Gathering and Pokemon, but it's rarely that you hear about Lorcana.
I've gone to Walmarts over here. I've gone to Targets. I live in Wisconsin, so you would think because there's a lot of shops. I only see Lorcana. I see sometimes Magic, right? The newest sets, I'll see them. I'll see some Yu-Gi-Oh, a little bit of Yu-Gi-Oh. I'll see no Pokemon because obviously the Pokemon craze.
Scalpers.
You will see such a huge amount of Lorcana product everywhere from previous set, new sets, and they're always discounted. By the way, they're always discounted, and no one's buying them. No one's buying. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think they were banking on their property, which was a good bet, but I don't know why it hasn't taken off. Maybe it's too expensive. Maybe what you're saying, pull
It
rates
is
is a problem.
it is too expensive because
Yeah.
when Lorcana was announced, the first set,
Mhm.
I remember that I spoke to our friend Carlos, and I'm like, dude, I want to get a booster box. I want to get a sealed one, and I want to open one, and I really want to play Lorcana. Lorcana is the dates for the events were not conflicting with Magic, so I was like, shit, yeah, let's go ahead. I want to play it. But when the meta started gaining a little bit of like hype,
Mhm.
the best deck was, I don't know now, but in those times the best deck was like with Bell, and I don't remember what other character. To have four bells, you had to have four bells in the deck. I
Yeah.
think to have them all, if to buy four of them, you needed to invest $120
On 4 cards, is this
on
Yu-Gi-Oh
four
again? What
cards.
the hell is this?
On four
This
cards.
is Yu-Gi-Oh all over again.
and then I was like, I told Carlos, like, hell no, I'm just gonna buy two starter decks, for one for me,
Just
one
have
for
fun
my
with
wife,
that. Yeah,
and
just
have fun,
with
and that's it.
that. That's crazy.
Heck no. You
No.
know, Lorcana got to a point that the first set, a single booster pack, people would buy it for $25.
It's
Good
crazy.
lord.
Wow.
And I know that the pull rates are horrible because I have seen unboxings of the boxes, and they're
Mhm.
horrible. It's like the upcoming League of Legends card
Oh yeah.
game.
Yeah.
I just, when you read the information, it says that you get like the super alternate rare like version of the cards. You get them one in each 6 cases.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to
Crazy.
buy 6 cases, and maybe one of those 6 cases is the lucky one for
Yeah.
one.
Nah. It's
Nah,
too much. It's too
it's
much.
too much. It's too
Yeah.
much. There's this I have confirmation of it, but
Mhm.
we're going to be receiving a starter kit from an upcoming TCG as well. It's called Narrowscape.
Mhm.
An amazing artwork, amazing play style. Sadly, I haven't gotten the chance to play it like in Tabletop Simulator,
Mhm.
but I have seen how it plays out, how the mechanics work, and the game looks really interesting. The community is so vast and so big for this new TCG. I really do hope that it gets like the hype that it deserves. But again, I think that the most important part of any TCG is making sure that you pay attention to your community. I think your community is the one that thrives your TCG. You know, and don't get me started talking about Pokemon, because me and Pokemon Live are one. We are one, and that's a problem. Okay, so let's get to the next piece of news. It's something that started popping out today. So certain content creators that we love that we follow have been getting packages from Wizard of the Coast. If you guys remembered, when the previous Secret Lair Commander deck was presented, they presented all of the cards in 21, I think it was 21 days, because it was 21 ways to win.
Mm-hmm.
And in this case, they are presenting these cards with specific content creators with specific cards. So, 1 second. Oh, some of the content creators that got this package. Let me go ahead and zoom in here.
Mm-hmm.
Up. So our first content creator is Talia Vess. She received Morphon the Boundless in its Secret Lair form.
Wow.
So we know it's going to be a 5-color commander.
Yep.
I do hope that they don't do what they did on the previous commander deck, that even though it was kind of interesting, but I think the prof said that the synergy inside the 21 ways to win
It wasn't
21 ways
It
to win.
actually wasn't 21. That was the other problem.
Just in case if you guys don't know, Morphon is a mana value 7, mythic rare, legendary creature shapeshifter, 6/6. That he's a changeling, my bad. As Morphon enters the battlefield, you choose a creature type. Spells of the chosen type you cast cost Urborg less to cast. This effect reduces only the amount of the colored mana you pay. Other creatures you control of the chosen type get +1/+1.
Mhm.
Great card. I remember this card brings me so much memories. In the local game store that we go in Maya West, they had like this special event that you can add a partner to your commander.
Yeah.
So I added Morphon with slivers.
Gross. Gross.
Everything's a sliver.
Yep, everything's a sliver.
Everything's free.
And it was so much fun. I think I got top 3
Not bad.
versus super high power CEDH decks, and then the Cucarachas deck was like, yay! Okay, so our next content creator received Raise the Palisade, that was covered go blue. Ale or JP, what?
Yeah, I can read it. Raise the Palisade. It's 4 colorless and a blue for a sorcery that reads: choose a creature type. Return all creatures that aren't of the chosen type to their owner's hand. Just standard, kind of mediocre bounce spell.
Why didn't they reprint Cyclonic Rift?
Because it's $40, so why would you?
Because also it's based on creature types, but also this is a reprint from the Lord of the Rings set.
It is?
There you go.
That's it. Is that not interesting that they're reprinting this card? Because it's exclusive, but they're changing the art, and because the name is generic enough, they're reusing it.
You can put a pass on it. Yeah, that is interesting. They're already starting to reprint, which means that those cards are essentially reserve list cards at this point. Sort of. They're soft reserve lists because they might be able to reprint something like that because what you said is a generic name, but can they reprint Aragon? Maybe not. Maybe they'll have to change the name.
But they can do like the name change thing. Yeah.
Can you imagine they do something so perverse as to reprint Aragon but call it Batman? Or something insane like that. It's just eating off each other, like the IPs eating each other.
Yo, that would be so cool. You imagine
insane. Just be insane.
No, but you imagine that that we're getting Marvel. We're not getting Marvel like per se. We're getting Spider-Man.
Yeah. For now.
But yeah, exactly for now. But you imagine that there's like a point in Magic the Gathering that they go ahead and they're like, oh, our new set will be DC versus Marvel.
Yep, and they can get away with it because they might have both sets.
Yep. Exactly. Jesus. Okay, our next card is from Amy the Amazonian. JP told me about this card.
Yeah, this is Tolarian Library. It's the 2 in a red for a 2/2 changeling, and whenever an opponent casts a spell, you may put a +1 counter on this creature. It has cool new art featuring a Minotaur.
That's really cool.
This is a changeling, so my assumption has to be that this deck is going to be like changeling.
It's more fun.
Mm-hmm.
They're committing
everything cares about creature types.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's an interesting design space. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
the most beautiful card. Yes.
Wow. Wow, that's
Yes.
beautiful.
Mana
Amazing.
Curve's got Bitter Blossom.
That's great.
Actually, Mana Curves is on our list for ETB.
Mm. Oh yeah. So they can show off this card. Oh.
we haven't gotten a date yet.
Aw.
Because we had dates already, but due to
Scheduling issues.
scheduling issues,
These people are
we-
big, guys. It's hard to
yes,
get.
exactly.
They're
I'm
eager.
not-
They want to,
They
so it's
want to, but they're busy schedules.
busy
So,
schedules. Yep.
but we have a couple of people lined up that are awesome as well.
Mhm.
Okay, so we got Bitter Blossom. The next card is from Voxy, Avenger of Zendikar.
Nice. So
I
it's
don't understand the artwork though.
it seems like
Is
it's
it-
an alien thing. Like it's
Is it an alien pooping?
sort of? It's like an alien ship, and it's killing the little changeling guys. I don't know. Elemental, whatever.
What I will say is that
Mhm.
if everything cares about giving everything creature types, I'm sure Massbook Nessus is gonna be in this deck.
Oh, it has to.
And
Ooh, it has
imagine
to
just
be.
playing a Avenger and then playing a land, everything gets +1 counter.
Yeah. Yeah. Agree. What if
I
they
agree.
put the land that lets you the world tree? The world tree could be a good
Oh,
land in this
yeah.
deck too, because then it's like a sort of soft win con that you can do.
Mm-hmm.
I can see that being in the deck. That's cool. But your
That's
Cynic
cool.
is just a solid card, so. Oh yeah, definitely. Okay, so I get it. It's just making tokens. Generic
Yeah, it's
tokens, and
making
just
tokens. Yeah,
making everything like be everything to some degree. Yeah, I like it. I like the design space. It's fun.
it is cool. At least when Wizard of the Coast says I want to do something cool, they do cool things.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Anna Margaret got Tender Shoot Dryad that at the beginning of each upkeep create a 1/1 green sapperling creature token. Sapperlings you control get +2/+2 as long as you have the city's blessing. So you have to be #blessed to be able to have that second ability. It only means that you need 10 permanents. So if you are making a lot of tokens, you're covered.
Yep.
Let's see. Okay, here we go. There's another card that JP told me.
beautiful.
Zbex got the Soul Ring.
Nice.
The artwork is really cool.
Yep.
It
It's like a
reminds
soul ring
me-
in the head.
Yeah, but it reminds me of the Black History Month one.
Yes. Yes, I can see it.
Let me see if there's any more. Nope.
Nope, that's it.
That's
Nice. I'm assuming that those cards are being showcased are probably the cards that are foil and like they're
Yeah.
different artwork because they tend to do like 7 or 8 cards or different art styles and very unique to the deck and synergistic with the deck. And then the rest of the deck is just literally reprints of like cards you already have with no new artwork or whatever. So it'll be interesting the pricing on these. This will be interesting because they keep raising ever so slightly the price every time they release a new Commander Secret Lair. So
Yeah,
we'll
that's
see
why
what
I
they-
think that's why I love the fact that the professor and his team like take the time to be like, hey, so you can get all these cards like non-foil for this price. Like could be way cheaper than buying the secret layer, because there are certain cards that even though they're secret layer, you can get them cheaper as well. You
Yep.
know.
Yep.
So it all depends on like the hype of the card, I guess. Because I know that the Deadpool cards are. I think that the Blacker Lotus is like running for 350 if I'm not mistaken.
So lucky. I got my Deadpool Secret Lair, but I got the crappy fucking extra bonus card.
Which one?
the crappy one, the one that you give to somebody. Yeah. But I still got the Deadpool. It's gonna be fun to brew with that deck.
Harmless Offering. You got Harmless
Harmless
Offering.
Offering.
Okay, yeah. But it was so interesting that in the SpongeBob one they put Smothering Tide.
I know. I'm like, really? The one that I don't buy because I'm like, I don't care too much about that. That's the one where they give you like a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that out of all of like these like chase cards, I think that the most epic one was the Mana Vault in Fallout.
For sure. It's
You know.
good.
I don't know. It all depends on like how much they're gonna price this Morphon deck. I really I hope that they price it well and good.
The last deck was like what, 250 or
Yeah, I
200?
think so. Yeah, the 21 ways to win.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. That's one of the reasons why the professor. Are you looking for the #1 local game store here in Puerto Rico? I got it for you. It's called Titan Games. They are located in Caguas and in Rio Piedras. As well, they have their own website, TitanHobbyGames.com. There you guys can find your favorite TCGs and much more in their website. That's not all. Just pass by every week. There's an event and there's a lot of things you can do with Titan Games. All of their information are in the description below, so pass by and check them out. It was like it's not worth buying it because it was too expensive
Yep.
for what you're getting. You
The
know,
problem is you won't be able to assess the value because it'll go on sale tomorrow, next, like it's in a few days, right? Like it's
yeah, I
coming
think
up
so.
soon.
Yeah,
So that's the problem. You won't be able to assess value because you'll be concerned with FOMO. Because if you don't do the virtual line, you might miss out on this deck that you don't know the contents of yet.
no, exactly. The thing is that let's see, for instance, I think I got the wrong
There's
card.
no deck list, so you don't know. You're just going on a whim.
Yeah, exactly. You're going on on like, hey, so I might
That's
get this card.
It's on a
So
whim. I bought the Deadpool because I'm like, oh, it's funny, Deadpool, I get it. And it was like, it's like the usual $30. So I'm like, okay, it's fine. I don't mind. Because he's mechanically unique and he seemed like a trolly type of card, so that's why I bought it. And since it had Death Relic, I'm like, okay, at worst, I have my value back because that
exactly,
one
yeah.
card, that is a staple everywhere. But yeah, you don't know what you have here, and based on the cards, they're cool and all, but they don't inspire you to go off and buy it. You know what I mean?
Correct. Yeah, but for instance, look at one of the cards that I'm aiming to get to change at least the face commander, right?
Yep.
So I love Goshen Tai of Life Origin. Right now, the Secret Lair one, there's one that says damaged. So sometimes damaged card are not actually damaged cards.
Yeah.
But it's going for $10. But right now, you can get one for 16.
That's super nice.
Foil.
Yeah, they crash in value potentially, probably.
Right now the most expensive Secret Lair right now is, I don't know what is this, but this one is apparently the most expensive.
Probably one of the older ones when they were.
I think this is a bundle. Oh no, this is a bundle. Okay, my bad.
But still, it's probably one of the older bundles, maybe.
Yeah, no, the most expensive one of the bundles is the SpongeBob one.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, the Secret Lair, Our Boss is on Vacation drop.
Interesting.
But in terms of cards, the most expensive one right now is the Encore Electromancer. That's Snapcaster Mage.
Yeah.
The Hatsune Miku one is going for 1,400.
Yep. And some crazy person probably bought it, maybe, potentially.
Yeah.
Yeah. But usually it's like the extra cards, like the normal cards generally either maintain value or go slightly down.
Kind of feels like a bit like a lottery ticket.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, you're banking on the fact, and they do that consciously. So, for example,
but it's also kind of scummy.
It is. No, I totally agree, because then you're basing off your decision instead of like, oh, I'm interested in this IP or I'm interested in this artwork. You have to be like, damn, but what if it doesn't have a good lottery card? Now you're thinking about the lottery cards.
Don't you remember when the lottery card is a basic land?
Yep. It was just a little extra freebie or something similar.
It was the basic. The first ones was the basic lands, and then they got like the stained glass war
planeswalkers,
War of the Sparks planeswalkers,
which is fine. That was fine too. But yeah, and I think they used to announce it too, or they used to kind of give you a hint of what
they would give you a hint. Yeah,
they would give you sort of a hint or tell you outright what the extra card was, so they would also kind of inform your decision. But I don't know. It was I know it was one Secret Lair in particular. I don't remember which one because this was like a couple years back. Easily, they put something like really valuable, and people started freaking the hell out, and then that would like create the FOMO even more so than before. Because by that point they were starting to dabble with the idea of doing limited drops.
Yeah, because I think that back in the first Secret Lairs,
if you guys remember,
we had the Vizier Seer, we had the the Apostle.
Yep. They were starting to
And
do
then-
serialized cards, and that was the problem.
We had 2 Apostles. We had the blue one and the black one.
Yep.
Like if you would have gotten one of those artworks, you had like a $500, $600 card in your hands.
Yep.
So it was really crazy back in the day. But now in this case that we don't know what the heck we're going to get. So it's like, hey, so just to wait until you get the bonus card.
Yep.
I think that all of from all of the most recent secret layers, I think that the dumbest one is cats versus dogs.
Oh yeah. In recent times, for sure.
Because I thought what they were going to do is 2 different secret layers with obviously one artwork with cats, one artwork with dogs, and there were going to be 2 different styles of reprints. Like, so cats have these reprints, dog has this reprints. But when I saw that there were the exact same cards,
and they
with
were
different
trash
artworks.
cards, by the way.
Oh yes,
Trash.
trash cards, man.
Trash. Freaking horrible.
Not even cards that you would be like, yes, I want this in my what's the commander called?
Yeah,
that one.
That one. Yeah, no, it's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. I don't know. I just, one things that I really hope and that we get a break these next few weeks from. I know that Final Fantasy is the upcoming set.
It's gonna
We
be
all
like
know
1,000 secret layers carrying.
Definitely. But what I mean is that I just want a break. I want a break like that we can have some breathing room to enjoy Tarkir. Tarkir is a fun set. Having gotten to play it in a sealed format, I will do it in arena. But Tarkir seems so much fun, and like I said before, it's one of the sets that I would actually fully go back into standard. But I just want a break. I want a break from like, hey, no more spoilers, please. Just give us a breathing room to enjoy our dragons. If y'all are gonna make a secret layer of how to train a dragon, that's fine.
Yeah.
But just give us a break. Just give us a small break.
So Tarkir releases on the 11th, like officially.
Yeah, and everybody's selling product already.
Yeah, and then Final Fantasy pre-orders will start eventually, and then it releases in June 13. So bet like probably a week or 2 in, probably at the end of April, we're gonna start seeing previews of Final Fantasy, and then they're just gonna cut any momentum Tarkir might have had.
Exactly what happened with Aether Drift.
Yeah, exactly. It's gonna keep happening. That's the problem too. You don't get a breather.
You don't get a breather.
No.
JP, what are your thoughts?
They really should give us a breather, especially with how fun Tarkir is. I do have some reservations. I played pre-release, and I find that this pre-release format, like this draft format, or I guess I should say limited format, is too heavy on removal.
Okay.
Every color has removal and plentiful.
Okay.
My first match was I was playing Sultai, and my first match was against Mardu, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I had 12 removal."
Wow, that's a lot.
Wow.
I had 8, and I had to cut, and I had 8 in the deck. I had more outside because I just couldn't. I just didn't have the cards for it.
Yeah.
But and every color has so much removal. It's crazy. You have to generate your advantage with the thought in mind that everyone has so much removal. I won that game with a flying ward too. That's the only reason, because ward really helped me with get through. And the renew mechanic from Sultai, because if you kill the creature, I still have an ability in the graveyard. That incremental advantage got me through. But other than that, like also the pre-release itself, Teamer is unbalanced.
Okay.
Because in pre-release, a 3-mana 4/3. No, it's not even a 3 mana 4/3. It's several cards that are 3-mana 4/3s. And then you get the sorcery that's 5 mana to make a 5/5.
Yeah.
Which has harmonize for 8.
Okay.
So you just tap the 5/5 and pay 3.
Yeah.
So 8 mana for 2/5/5s, and a saga that when it enters, like the first two modes are making a 5/5, and the last mode is double their power
Wow.
of all your creatures. Teamer is absolutely broken. Teamer is definitely the strongest combination and the strongest in the set. There's no doubt about it.
Okay.
Isn't Teamer the one that has the rhino?
No, the like you're thinking the Abzan.
Oh, okay, that's Absent. Okay,
No,
yeah.
Teamer has the elephants, and the elephants will stomp you over. In fact, people who had Abzan and had the rhino, I didn't even see many people run it. I saw one person run it.
That's interesting.
It's crazy.
That's really interesting because I know that I've seen already like standard decks with only the rhino.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, the rhino is bound to be good, but he's an uncommon, and as play boosters work through draft, you're bound to get more commons and rares than the uncommons, oddly enough.
Yeah. I really do wish that we were back in our times where there was like the draft booster and the set booster.
I know,
That's
right?
it.
And even that, like, it's still incorrect. We should just say we just want draft boosters, but let's go with set and draft.
Get with the times, old man.
Yes, I know. I understand.
That's JP saying, "You boomers."
Yeah, it's so frustrating though, but you know, it is what it is. You're right.
I completely agree. Like, I opened up a couple of days ago. I opened up Aether Drift like play boosters, and I was like, "Yes, I got an additional." No, it's the Nard card. Oh, okay, yeah,
Yeah.
I don't need it anymore. But I was really sad because, if y'all know, scalpers exist now in Puerto Rico.
Yep.
And Pokemon product is impossible to find.
Scarce, completely scarce.
There, last Saturday, I went to what was it Saturday or no, it was Saturday. The last Saturday, I went to different places where I was like, there might be Pokemon product. So I was like, I'm not going to this Walgreens because I don't have faith. So I did went to the Walgreens and I found the blister packs that have 3 booster packs or 4. My bad, 4. So I think that the manager from Walgreens was like, "Do you collect or buy Pokemon?" I'm like, "Yeah, I buy and resell, but I resell in good prices, not like scalper prices."
Yeah.
So he gets me excited. But he's like, "I have so UPS gave us a box full of like Pokemon stuff." I'm like, yes. So that means that they might have like when you say boxes, you're like in your mind, you're like the actual boxes, with the big promo cards and whatnot.
Yeah.
So he shows me this little like 4x4 box.
Of course.
And he's like, "So you know how Walgreens work?" And I'm like, "No, how does Walgreens work with your TCG situation?" So they grab a box, they add a bunch of junk.
Okay.
And then they send it to us. And I'm like, oh,
I see.
I see. Now I understand. So I still got two Magic the Gathering packs and the Pokemon one. So I was so excited because the promo was metal tan, whatever. The screw thing, the screw Pokemon.
Yeah.
So I was super excited when I saw the card. It was it was an EX card, obviously with the promo stamp. When I saw it, it was damaged. I was so sad.
Oh, that sucks.
It had you know that the foil cards, when you look at them, if you don't look at them well, they get scratched up here, but on this side of the card. So it was so scratched up that you could see the flakes of like the foiling. I was so mad.
Damn.
You know, but you know, at the fact that I could find Pokemon, I got excited.
No, of course, understandable.
but I still say that it's really I'm so happy that at least in the States, stores that have like the Pokemon Center booths are like, hey, two 2 per customer, and that's it.
Yeah.
And if you don't follow the rules, they will call the popo on you.
Yep.
You know, hey, are you looking for premium playtest cards? I have you covered. TolarianLibrary.com. Just pass by their website, check out all of the playtest cards that you might need for your commander deck, and use code CBCMTG to get 20% off your order. If you're looking for cards that you probably don't have a budget for, it's fine. Tolarian Library might have it, and you can get it for your future commander. But so those were the only topics that we had for all of you tonight. So we had leaks, we have an upcoming Secret Lair commander deck. So nothing, guys. What are your final thoughts on both things? And are you super excited that we are close to Final Fantasy?
I'm excited. I'm excited for what to call the space set. But I just hope I'm
That's
pleasantly...
Edge of Eternities, right?
Yeah, the Eternities, the Blind Eternity set.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that set. I hope to be pleasantly surprised with the Final Fantasy one.
Okay.
And as for the leaks, leaks happen. It was a starter kit. I don't think much was lost.
No.
Really, and Secret Lairs, the commander, it's okay. It's okay.
How about you, Ale?
I agree. The commander is fine. If it's priced at $250, that's insane. Please don't buy that for $250 because I don't think it probably isn't worth it. Maybe it is. Maybe it's not. It all depends on the cards included in the 99. But assess the value because there's a lot of product coming in. So you need to, like, unless you don't care about money, but I guess burn it all. Sure. But it doesn't seem like that engaging or fun. The concept is okay, but there's been better Secret Lair commander decks than this one. Even the flip a coin one seemed more fun and interesting than this one.
Mhm.
And it was far cheaper too. With regards to, I guess, Tarkir, I'm glad that it's going to be released. It's sad that a lot of people are going to ignore it, which is good for us because we get to buy those cards for cheap because people are moving on to Final Fantasy. They have their eyes set on Final Fantasy. We've noticed based on the pre-orders and how everything is sold out regarding Final Fantasy. It's a big possibility that the set won't be that powerful because it's a standard set and people don't seem to realize that, even though they're going for the collectible angle, so I guess that's fine. But probably the power level isn't going to be like with Lord of the Rings. If it is, then WotC's making another big mistake. But that's something for the pro players to deal with. Hopefully, it's like on par with previous standard sets we've seen recently. I'm excited for that one because I do like Final Fantasy a lot. I'm gonna get the stuff that I want from Tark here, and that'll be great. Final Fantasy, I'm like, I have credit in my local game store, and it's gonna be probably dumped to whatever Final Fantasy set I find that I'm able to pre-order or whatever, just to open up a little, like a booster box or whatever, or maybe a collector booster box, depending on the prices, if they're not absurd. But yeah, I'm interested in seeing what they do with Edge of Eternities. That'll be kind of interesting. It'll be interesting what they kind of do for crossover ideas. If they do
Edge of Eternities, that's Alien. You got Terminator. You got
a couple. You got
Back
Star
to
Wars.
the Future. You got Star Wars.
You're gonna go that route, yeah. That'll be interesting what they come up with that. But yeah, even what I'd be curious to see is what they do with the story. I think the story will be interesting to see how they kind of coalesce all these sets that are in universe and see where the story's headed, if it's headed anywhere. I feel, especially with the last couple of sets, that they're very conscious that they seem to be adrift. They don't seem to have a story or a narrative that's propelling you to have any interest in these sets, and they might money talks. So they have to realize one or two things. Okay, our standard in-universe sets are not selling as well as the IP ones. So either we commit to more IP ones, which would be the wrong choice to do, or the correct choice would be kind of engage you a little bit more with the in-universe ones. Maybe with storytelling ideas that are more engaging for the player base, or more powerful cards, power creep isn't the best solution either, but it might be a route that they might go to. So it'll be interesting what they do in the coming months and see what they come up with and see what other sets they haven't talked about that they might release. Maybe like a master set that comes out of left field and takes more of our money away or something. It'll be interesting. So yeah.
Yeah, I completely agree. I'm excited for Final Fantasy. I played Final Fantasy for a long time. It's a set that I'm really aiming for to see what goes into it. Especially with certain characters that I love from Final Fantasy X. Edge of Eternities, I'm more excited to see how the lands look. I am a land person. Like, I think I have a problem collecting lands. So just wanted to see how the artwork is and see if I'm going to collect those as well. But I agree with Alan in this case in regards to the story. I hope that they do get back in track and have like a big baddie at the end, and not let it be like what happened in March of the Machines. There was something like here we're done. This happened and that's it. We need something back again. We need another big baddie, another Thanos or something like that to adrift on the main story, because even though the Universe Beyond sets are part of the lore, but have the story like a part of like all these other IPs, because I understand IPs bring new players mean more money for the company, but we need as well Magic the Gathering to stay as what it is or what it was at first. Let's see what happens.
Keep it to its roots.
Exactly, keep it to its roots. I don't know. Let's see what happens in these couple of next weeks. I just hope that we do get like a break from the upcoming Final Fantasy set. So let's see what happens. So nothing. Let's go ahead. Round table. Ale, where can the people find you?
You can find me here talking about delicious, expensive, shiny cardboard. You can also find me at Cinemas Podcast, where I do movie reviews. Currently, I am covering the Wisconsin Film Festival, and there's going to be a couple of reviews talking about the movies that I've seen there that I enjoyed and I didn't enjoy as much. So look out for that. But, JP, where can the people find you?
You can find me here in the Cardboard Cave podcast and hopefully learning more about Final Fantasy as the set comes out. How about you, John?
So, guys, you guys can find me here in the Cardboard Cave podcast and as well in Reel In Films. I have some super interesting surprises coming in Reel In Films, even though I've been quiet. But you guys can look for it in Instagram and other social media. I'm back posting movie news, so you guys can be up to date. But before anything and before I say our goodbyes, remember, if you guys are in Puerto Rico, my bad. If you're in Puerto Rico, let it be in vacation. Let it be that you live here in the 100 by 35 from the 18th to the 20th of April. We're going to be in Comic-Con in the Dungeon Experience. We're going to be in room 103 in Puerto Rico Comic-Con. We're going to be with other content creators. We're going to have a lot of board games that you guys can enjoy and learn how to play as well. I will be announcing 2 challenges for that weekend. One will be from Pokemon and the other one will be from Magic the Gathering. So pay attention to the Cardboard Cave social media, like that you guys can be up to date on what we're going to be doing, and as well what surprises we're going to be having over there. So nothing, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and nothing. We will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.
Rope until I cut it, bala pa tu cabeza, para delicadeza, habla la realeza, salva naturaleza, method for your mentalities, kill them with no fatalities, happy with all the cannabis, welcome to your reality.